Gotta wear it low. Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
Welcome back to Moonlight Jazz on KCPR, California Public Radio. My name is Alan Palmer. It's 10:12 on a rainy Friday night, and we've got jazz records to see you through to the morning light. The piece you just heard was Ornette Coleman and Blues Connotation from his album, This Is Our Music. Don Cherry on the pocket trumpet, Charlie Hayden on double bass, and Ed Blackwell on drums, backing him up on the classic piece from 1971. And we started off the set with a crazy piece of crazy from the late Charles Mingus, theme for Lester Young, from the great Mingus, 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 Mingus. We've got 2 minutes of business coming up. Then we're on our way to Montreux with Miles and Quincy when they play the classic Blues for Pablo, right after this.
Hi, Alan Wright. I'm Denise, the new programming manager. We met last week.
Oh, right. Sorry. I'm terrible with names the first time I meet someone.
It's okay. I've met about 100 new folks since this Monday. I'm having trouble remembering them all myself.
Are you still working? It's pretty late.
Yeah, I had to finish up some paperwork, and I want to come down and talk with you.
I'm on the air.
Right, yes.
If you want to sit down on the show, just try and let me know beforehand. Try to keep a certain vibe in here.
Oh, yeah, totally. You've been doing this for a long time, and I don't want to mess with your mojo. Like I said, I just wanted to come down and talk with you for a minute. You have so many records in here. How do you pick out what you want to play?
I work on the playlist all day, keeping in mind the work I haven't played in a while, what fits well together, and what listeners respond to. Then I put it all together, make sure all the transitions work, and go on the air.
Wow, sounds like a lot of work.
It's only work if you don't love it.
Totally, it's like exercise.
Sure. Listen, I'm back on in about a minute, but I do the afternoon shift on Monday. We can talk then.
Actually, that's what I wanted to talk with you about.
My Monday show?
Your show in general. There's been some changes coming down the pike for the station, and I wanted to talk with you before any rumors start going around.
Changes? What changes? Thanks for sticking with us on a rainy Friday night. Up next, we've got Miles Davis and Quincy Jones from their Live at Montreux album. Great introduction to the journey that was Miles live on stage. After that, we've got something a little more modern with Freddie Hubbard performing a track from his 1971 album, First Light. Herbie Hancock, George Benson, and Jack DeJohnette on that, and Ron Carter popping up again on the bass. Hope you enjoy them, and we'll be back.
Wow, you know all those names by heart?
I've been playing these songs for years, and before that, I was listening to them. What changes?
As you know, the past few years haven't been kind for public radio, both in terms of reviews and finances.
Yes.
It's been challenging for the station to remain competitive in an increasingly hostile market, so we've been forced to explore ways to stay modern while staying focused on our signature values.
We're changing formats? After 56 years on the air?
It's not so much a change as it is refocusing, to focus on new news and informational programming.
You've got to be kidding me. We're becoming a talk radio station? The board signed off on this? Bobby Hansen signed off on this.
It was Mr. Hansen's idea.
This doesn't make any sense. California has innumerable talk radio stations and precious few outlets for jazz.
I can assure you that this is a mission-based decision rather than a market-driven one.
That's fantastic. I want to see Bobby as soon as possible.
Mr. Hansen asked me to oversee this transition. If you want to talk with him, you can talk with me.
The hell I can! You're taking my station away from me!
Alan, it's not that simple. Our market research indicates that people like the idea of jazz much more than they like actually listening to it. Most people can't name a single jazz musician other than Miles Davis. And your encyclopedic knowledge of music, while laudable, is also intimidating.
I am not allowing the board of KCPR to make my playlists.
Our research indicates that people like music that's more mellow, less confrontational, and requires no knowledge of the history of players. We'd like you to transition into smooth jazz.
Smooth. Jazz?
You know, Kenny G and such. It's something that had a positive response in our focus groups, and the licensing fees are surprisingly low. We'll be keeping you on Friday nights and Sundays. Also, we made Thursday at 4 a.m. available, and that could be a freeform hour.
Oh, thank you so much.
And this is in the planning stages, so for now, keep playing your normal music, and don't say anything on the air, please.
Sorry, that was Miles Jones and Quincy Jones from the live album, Live at Montreal. I'm sorry. I've just received some disturbing news that I need to share with you. As we know, this has been an increasingly brutal time for public radio. We're being accused for all manner of federal budgetary nonsense while being... Sorry. As we know, this has been an increasingly hostile time, As we know, it's been an especially brutal time for public radio. We're being blamed for all manner of federal budgetary nonsense while being hammered for being biased, liberal, intellectual, and all of the above. Through it all, KCPR has provided you with an alternative to the screaming street corner charlatans with their unending stream of depression, recession, war, and death battering you from every direction. Next week. But market research triumphs good intentions, and next week, KCPR is becoming a talk radio station. I've also been told that the timeless, vital jazz music I've been playing all my life is no longer required or desired by the marketplace, and that I'm to begin playing smooth jazz. Now, you may wonder what I think of smooth jazz. I think smooth jazz is to music as getting a rectal exam is to sex. It's utterly free of soul, heart, or balls. It's music that was meant to be played in elevators, dentist's office, and anywhere else you want to get the hell out of. If you put a gun to my head and said, listen to smooth jazz or die, I would beg you to shoot. If I had my way, I'd round up anyone who plays and listens to smooth jazz and set them on fire while their children watch. But since I have no control over what happens to me or my music, I'm going to play you some of the strangest, most abrasive, unlistenable jazz I can get my hands on. Starting with, side 3 of Miles Davis acid jazz train wreck, Dark Magnus. No melody, no tune, just 45 minutes of electric acid trip, Dark Night of the Soul, freaking out. Back after this. What? Oh! That's right, I wasn't supposed to say anything. Sorry.
How could you do this? You're going to be given every opportunity to express your opinions and ask questions. You just said that everybody who listens to smooth jazz should be burned alive. On the air.
They don't need to be burned alive on the air, just burned alive.
How could you do this? You just said... everyone that listens to smooth jazz
Pause for a second. So Seth, what you need to do, when Emma's in that fix, is you need to say the next thing that pops into your head that would make sense in this moment. And give her something to pick up on, okay? If she's not getting it, you can't just drink them out and do it. I know it's very tempting. I know, it's refreshing. But what you gotta do is you gotta jump in there with the next thing that you can remember that can make sense in this moment. Even if you have to make something up, you give her a moment to try to figure it out, you know? But you guys have been good at re-entering after the lines. But take a moment, take a deep breath. Begin again as though nothing happened. Just from where you left off.
Can I go like a couple steps back?
Sure. Who's going to speak first? You? Okay.
They don't need to be burned alive on the air, just burned alive.
You are going to be given every opportunity to ask questions and express your opinions. The Tuesday slot was free form. Do you know how rare that is?
An hour in the middle of the night on Tuesday! Thank you for your generosity.
Just play along for the good of the station and your family.
Play along! Miles Davis didn't play along. John Coltrane didn't play along when he recorded A Love Supreme. Charlie Parker and Charles Mingus didn't play along!
And look where they are. They're dead. You play music performed by dead people and listened to by nobody who matters. Jazz is dead. Just like poetry is dead, painting is dead, and theater is dead. Nobody cares about any of that crap except elitist intellectuals who would be sleeping under bridges if they had to do any honest work.
And I quit. Any jazz station in the country would hire me any second.
Oh, you know a lot of jazz stations that are hiring right now? You know a lot of jazz stations that exist right now? It's pay or play.
Fine.
Where are you going?
I'm gonna go home, have a whiskey, and listen to some jazz. And in the morning, I'm gonna think about what I want to do with the rest of my life. In the meantime, we've been on the air for, 45 seconds? I'm sure the elitist intellectuals still listening will be happy to sleep under a different bridge tonight with their disposable incomes and advanced degrees. But they don't matter, right?
I can assure our listeners that the opinions of the previous broadcaster in no way reflect the opinions of KCPR, its corporate donors, or board of directors. Now, who's ready for some smooth jazz?